Hey, ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome,
it's me,
gentlemen.
Elo
What is up,
Bandit.
ladies and gentlemen?
Ladies
It's
and
me,
gentlemen,
Elo
it's me,
Bandit.
Elo Bandit.
It's me, the Dark Alakazam.
Get the fuck out of here,
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Elon Salandit.
bro. Elon Salander.
Elbow thief.
Elbow Bandit.
What's up, ladies and
Elbow
gentlemen? My
Nandit.
name is Elo Bandit, and today we're going to be doing the official viability rankings for 1v1 Gen 8. I have with me the entire VR crew, including, but not limited to, Cash,
Hello everyone, what up? It's Cash here.
Nale,
Hey, I run 1v1 sets.
Potato Chan,
Hey, I'm relatively new to the community, but happy to be here.
Alakazam,
So I lead the tier with Rose and shit.
Rosa, who is typing,
Uh,
VG Jungle,
Me, you, and
Hello there,
That's
it's
what she
me,
says.
VG Jungle.
we have Waylaid,
Yo, I'm waylaid.
and last
Where
but
are
not
you?
least, Zio Trip, no capital letters.
With a
The,
capital Z.
I am the only person who voted no ban on Mew.
Oh,
I
Well,
thought it was funny. You're quirky and original. You're not like other girls.
damn.
And today
Desire-
we're going to be talking about the viability rankings and the updates that we've been making. So, our first topic is going to be the most important factor for ranking a Pokemon. And we already kind of just did a take of this, and Rosa did just say her piece, which you can read on your screen right now. But hopefully we can have someone else jump in and say what they think the most important factor for ranking a Pokemon is.
Alright, so I'm just gonna go here. So I think the most important factor in ranking a Pokemon is figuring out how well it does against other current top meta threats, such as, like, Primarina beats a lot of really good stuff, which is why it's really good.
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
That was really profound.
You're welcome.
Good things beat good things.
I guess I'll say my piece. In addition to beating good things, you also want to have options. There's one thing of power, but there's also one thing of versatility. It's how good you can be with one set versus how good you can be given any set. That combined with the ability to, of course, beat other things that are powerful and versatile. VG, your
Are you
mic
in a
is going
wind
crazy.
tunnel?
I'm just gonna mute VG for a little bit here. So
Shit.
yeah, as I said, power, versatility, and ability to beat other things that are powerful and versatile.
All right.
He's now out of a tunnel.
He's out of the tunnel now. It's okay.
Excellent.
In a tunnel.
Okay.
We've
so
done it.
basically, in my opinion, a lot of things can be used to describe whether or not a Pokemon is great. There's definitely versatility in like how many sets it actually has that are great, or if it has like one amazing set that like does everything that he wanted to. That can kind of like balance it out in that perspective, and just whether or not it can be used to, bro.
What?
He muted himself. He's fine.
Okay, good man. Basically, whether or not a Pokemon is at the moment, at the exact moment of when it's being ranked, can like what it can do in relative to the rest of the metagame. That's how I rank Pokemon.
Gotcha.
Not supposed to be like long-term potential based, but
It's just in the
actually what
moment.
they do. Yeah.
Okay.
Because like we can change this whenever we want. That's the whole point of like having these cool spreadsheet things. So I figured like we don't need to predict for how good it will be. We can just do it how good it is right now.
Although,
And then
Yeah.
That's right. It is a constantly shifting metagame.
when ranking, I do think of sets that are like underutilized at the moment, but it's not like it's stuff that has been used. It's just very minimally used. They could make the mon significantly better over time.
Alright, there is no more helicopter. But yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I think that underutilized sets should very much be taken into account with viability. For example, I think that Cursed Dragapult is one of the best Pokemon in the meta, and even though it doesn't see much usage, Dragapult as a Pokemon really benefits from having that option. Yet all the
Did
same,
you just pronounce it Dragapult?
it's
I did. Is it
Probably pronounced like dragon, but yeah.
Yeah.
okay? Regardless, I think that that's very important. But at the same time, you can't get carried away with that and say that, I bet that Blossom has a lot of potential. I'm going to rank it at B- because I think it can do things even if no one's used it yet.
Did someone actually rank Blossom at B-?
No, just
No.
purely hypothetical.
Immediate removal.
Demoted.
Blossom for B-.
All right.
I'll make the nom.
Let's all edit our votes right now.
Oh no.
Okay. I'm scrolling down.
No, please. All right.
No more.
All right, and we were gonna go through some of the higher tier mons that we had differing opinions on.
All right.
I believe
think-
Darmg and Corsology were up for debate here,
Nice.
and Drake is old.
Drake is not bad.
Draco's not
Drake
good.
has a 20% chance to be worthless.
Zolt bad.
The
Zolt
other
bad.
80% of the time, it's pretty good.
So Zolt bad
Zolt
just
I
because
will-
of hustle, just because it misses. That's the only reason.
No,
It's not very
Alright, so-
reliable.
It's just, it's not bad as it's like unreliable. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, unreliable makes it bad. I mean, in my kind of thought, like, why would you use it in a tournament setting when you can use something that's like way more reliable and you don't have to like worry about it missing all the time? That's something that I take into account.
It's like
I
you could
feel
use
like-
Scarf Dracozolt, or you could just use like Ban Zeraora.
It's like how in Gen 7, Mega Gengar technically beat like 90% of the metagame if you just got lucky with like Focus Blast and Hypnosis and like
Yeah.
max sleep turns, but that's never going to happen.
This has like twice the odds to work as Gengar did, though, if not more.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'll say that if it had Intrepid Sword instead of Hustle, I think it would easily be an S-, if not S-rank Pokemon. If
Sure.
you look at it, it has
Well, yeah,
an
that's
incredible
because
offensive
Intrepid
typing.
Sword's like a broken ability.
Yeah,
We're just saying
but I'm
the
just saying that's
ability-
Hustle without the mist, right? So it has an incredible offensive typing. It has stall breaking potential and taunt, which is hugely underutilized.
It also
Absolutely
stall breaking
ridiculous
potential and
power.
Choice Band.
I like the point you bring up with taunt. That does actually tend to win matches, even if you miss
Yeah.
it, even if you miss a move.
Yeah, it can stall break very viably with that, quite reliably.
And
Um,
no one's
I-
going to
just
talk
like
about
Marcel.
the dank Volt
I feel like I feel like I have to talk
I don't.
since I have the lowest ranking out of everyone.
Yeah, go
Pretty
ahead.
sure I'm
C-.
at like a C minus. So the reason I hate it so much and constantly say that it's bad is because we already talked about Hustle being just trash. But number 2, slow, super slow. Number 3, it's a dragon that's slow, which means all the other dragons kill it instantly, and the fairies kill it instantly, and ice types kill it instantly. And if you look at the top of our VR, that's literally all there is. So like,
I mean, it's-
everything just
On the contrary,
kills
it beats the
Well,
best 2 fairies in the meta.
Yeah, it's going to be beating Sylveon and Primarina like every time you hit it.
Yeah,
And it
there's
is
no way.
75. 75 is faster than Prim and Sylveon by 15. So it's not
Yeah,
going to be.
I think that 60 is the most oversaturated speed tier in the meta, and it's faster than by a good margin.
Are at 60, so it's speed creeping more right there. But 75 is a.
I gave it like a Bolt Absorb set, and I honestly like it better because I feel like it's just action with taunt. I don't even think taunt is that good. Like if I'm gonna use something else as like a stall breaker, I'd rather use something else than that.
I think that if it like hit more consistently, like if it was 100% accurate, it would just be a better Dracovish. So it's kind of risk reward in my opinion on like
Yeah.
what you value in a Pokemon.
Is beating. Oh,
I'd also like to bring up the fact that it can one-shot almost every Hoenn user in the meta. Like, you talk about it losing to dragons, but if you look at Gudra, which is a dragon that's supposed to beat dragons, Ban Dracozolt just rips right through that. It's so
the thing
powerful.
about dragons in this tier is that they're all Haban. Like,
They're either Haban or like Choiced,
Or choice.
Yeah.
or they
Yeah,
have
you
Life
gotta-
Orb, or they're
Like, I feel
Dragapult
like
and
you
they run
can't-
whatever the heck they want.
Like I feel like Haban Zolt isn't that good, like compared to its other set.
Ban Zolt is awful.
Tell you what, why don't we talk
Yeah,
a little bit
so-
more about some of the top mons right now to give just a little bit of context for the Dracozolt conversation?
currently, there are 3 mons that are like more or less agreed upon to be on the similar or like on a similar level. There is Primarina, Darmanitan, Galar, and Sylveon. Prim has insane bulk, and really good typing, and it's pretty strong as well. Darm is just ludicrously strong despite its only like 2 sets. And then Sylveon is very strong. It has potential to like run a lot of sets, but the main thing is that Pixelate is just like an inherently really good.
The main
ability.
thing is a Hyper Beam go burr.
Yeah, no, Hyper Beam kills everything that is not a
Hyper
result.
Beam Jimmy going burr.
Hyper Beam is the nuke. It's great.
I think it's the strongest special mon in the tier.
I think it's kind of interesting the way that we see other things sort of evolve to counter those 3, and then those 3 evolve again to re-counter. Like we see Conk start speed creeping with Adamant Poison Jab for Sylveon, and then Sylveon starts speed creeping.
Running max speed.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, these
Yeah,
3,
that's
they're good, and they can even beat the things that are kind of supposed to beat them.
They're definitely centralizing figures in the metagame right now.
I don't think any of them are banless, but they're really, really, really good.
Yeah.
I think
Can we do-
I think that-
strange that like Prim and Sylveon have a fair amount of variability. They have a bunch of different sets they can run, and Dharma has 2.5 sets. Dharma
Yes,
has
that's accurate.
Scarf and Band, and then Zen mode, which is bad. I think it's only used for like Encore Cheese and Hydreigon and Haxorus, which just usually outspeed with Scarf.
Zen mode
Yeah.
bad.
Zen bad.
Zen bad.
I think it's what, like, literally half less attack if you opt to use Zen.
No.
It's more than that.
1.5 less. It's one of
Yeah.
the-
It actually goes up to 160 base attack when you transform, so
Yeah,
it's a
when
bit
you-
higher.
Yeah, so when you go into Zen, you kind of make up for a little bit of what you lost.
And you get a
Yeah,
stab
but,
blitz,
like,
which is
not
really
all-
strong.
Totally. It's
Not
not
having
like
it initially is really bad. Like, you can't Oko Prim anymore, which is big L.
Yeah. Although Prim is running Chillenberry, so
Prim is running Chillin for Diggersby, which has been seeing an increased amount of usage, as well as Dharma.
well,
That
no,
gets one shot by
it's-
Wild Charge. It's running it exclusively for Dharma, I think.
Yeah, it's running
it's
Chillen for
definitely
Darn.
just for Darn.
And I think that the fact that it does that really speaks to Dharm's overall impact on the meta.
I
And
think
additionally, one thing that I love about Dharm
Melly,
is
it
that
also speaks
it is
to the
hard
fact
to
that
beat.
Primarina doesn't have a good item.
Well,
Uh,
I
it
wouldn't
has
say
some
it
options.
doesn't have a good item.
More
it's
like
just-
it can use any item it wants.
It
It is
doesn't-
Exactly.
You can run weakness policy to beat Gudra, or if you put like a shit ton of Spadef, you can also beat Rotoms.
Heck,
Um,
Gudra, more like Badra.
Damn.
I'm
Wow,
surprised we don't
okay.
see a little bit more
One.
Endure usage versus Giga Impact Darmanitan G. It seems like that would be a really good counter if you don't want to give up an item.
The issue
Yeah, but
with-
then you just get 50-50 by like Earthquake.
And also the issue with Prim is that it needs all 4 move slots. Like, and even more,
Yeah,
it's
it
like-
does have 4 move slot syndrome.
It wants to run Calm Mind, Energy Ball, Encore, Sparkling Aria, Hydro Cannon, Aqua Jet, Moonblast, all that at once. And it can't. It's so, like...
Yeah, I guess I
Endure
was
is
more
really
thinking about
difficult.
Endure Sylveon maybe, because it doesn't quite need like quick attack for everything.
And-
beat soft.
Yeah,
For me,
but
that's
then you
actually-
still get 50-50 by like Quake and Flare Blitz and Ice Skull Crash.
I mean, if they ever actually click that, but
I think,
Yeah.
like, 50-50
That's why
like
it's a
that.
50-50.
You only see 50-50s when you're laddering with the same team.
Yeah.
I think in a tournament setting, when you're only going to see the team once, it's not going to come to a 50-50.
I agree with
Yeah.
Those are definitely more effective in tournament settings. Although I find with the best players, they can predict lures more easily. Like I remember seeing like Auras games where people like easily predict Endure sets because that's just like the common set nowadays.
That's because Custap is in that gen.
Mhm.
Custap is running absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we have any other higher tier mons that we have differing opinions on? I think
Let's see.
Corsola.
Dragapult is one.
Yeah, does
Oh,
Corsola
Dragon
count
Ball.
as character tier?
I do not think Corsola.
Oh,
is-
Dragapult. Oh
is
boy.
easy.
Dragapult is we pretty much all agree on Dragapult. Corsola has a lot. Of
Dragapult
VG
is-
is at A-.
Yeah, I want to hear VG's thoughts on Dragapult because everyone else seems to agree that it's pretty much A+. But VG,
Yeah, I just don't think Dragapult's that good with it kind of like not having good matchups against any of the top 3 Pokemon in the metagame. Like, it has a terrible Sylveon matchup for obvious reasons. It obviously gets like dumpstered by Scarf Darmanitan, and it doesn't have a good Primarina matchup. So
see you
I
have
just
you.
find it hard to justify putting it at A+, which is one step below the 3 Pokemon that are at the top that it loses to all 3 of.
It
That's
can
fair.
win with like Scarf, but Scarf is really bad. I don't like Scarf. At all.
It can't win with Scarf.
Scarf
It's
is
not against
You
that
can
at
run
all.
some stuff with that
you could
and
go
beat it.
Scarf against Darmanitan, but that's not.
Scarf is
No,
good
but
for you. I
Darmanitan
think
Bolts.
the issue with I think Pult's offensive sets are straight up bad. I
I
think
agree with that.
all the other sets are pretty good, but like the Scarf, Specs, Band, all of those are not good.
Yeah, you're gonna wanna
At the very least, they're significantly worse.
use the
Then
defensive
sub-disable.
Willow Hex sets or sub-disable. Yeah.
Just use sub-disable.
In my opinion, the Curse set is the best one. There are, I think,
Yeah.
2 stall
I agree.
Pokemon in the entire meta that beat Cursepult. Those
Except
being
Arcanine and
Mandibuzz,
Mandibuzz, yeah.
Mandibuzz and Whimsicott, and maybe Arcanine. But yeah,
Arcanine
it
versus
is
Snarl will win usually.
it is a destructive stall breaker with an incredible speed tier, and it beats so many choice Pokemon too, because with that level of investment in bulk, you can beat a lot of Scarfers, and then it has sub-disable for anything slower.
That's true.
Elo, are you like
Yeah.
recording the chat? Like, if I post sets in the chat, would that somewhat helpful?
I'm recording the VR sheet.
So you have to put in the Google
Oh,
chat.
like the spreadsheet. I see.
So the
Like,
next
yeah,
one is Corsola Galler. I think everyone else except for me, or no. Me, Wee Lad, and Potato Chan have now changed their votes to B, but everyone else has an A currently.
I don't like that mon. I don't think
don't
that
like
it's
it at all.
particularly good.
Ursula
I
is
think that-
great. I don't know what you're talking about. It's
It
amazing.
has some like stalling uniqueness, right? Like the PP stall fight set. I don't think that's bad at all. But I think that as a Pokemon, it's kind of underwhelming in my
I
opinion.
think it's a good Stallmon, but Stallmons are not good in this tier.
Yeah, I
Unless you're
agree.
named Corviknight or Mandibuzz, which have really fast taunts, or just like incredibly useful typings, then you kind of struggle to stand out.
There's
I
so
don't
many
think it's
No, there's some good stall Pokemon in the meta.
there
Yeah,
are,
sure.
but, like you have to work around Trick and mainly
Unless you're
Mandibuzz and-
Sovali.
Yeah, well,
Or
Sylveon
Aromatisse.
is questionable versus. Well, can you consider Aromatisse a stall Pokemon?
Yeah,
That's fair.
Yeah.
Not really.
I would say so.
it's like also like a breaker though. So I understand where we're not
I
being.
know what
Aromatisse is
Aromatisse
its
is.
own category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
I feel like Corviknight and Mandibuzz are easily the best stall Pokemon in the tier because they beat all the other stall Pokemon on top of what they already beat on their own.
Yeah, pretty much.
For sure.
I don't disagree.
I, for one, am a fan of Spite Corsola G, because I find that tends to beat anything, even if it has sub. Really, you lose to Taunt and you lose to Trick, but you have a phenomenal matchup against just the blanket rest of the meta.
Yeah, you also have stuff like Encore running around.
That's
my
true.
Yeah.
That's true. Encore
Although,
as well.
what's interesting about Corsola is that
really slow. It's like not salvageably slow.
Actually, that's not quite true.
It doesn't
You
even
can
hard lose
outspeed
to Encore.
Aegislash and win against a super effective matchup, so that's kind of notable.
Yeah.
So, for example, Amnesia Corsola beats Encore Aromatisse. So it doesn't even hard lose to Encore, and
Yeah,
it
no,
can
they
even work
both
around
do
Taunt and
Aromatisse.
Trick sometimes with Nightshade.
Your
Yes,
Aromatisse
that's
hard.
also true.
The main issue is I have like Rising of Mons, specifically Mandibuzz and Celebi, which are seeing a lot of usage recently. Celebi just tricks you and then recovers off all the damage from Nightshade, and you just get PB stalled to death. And then Mandibuzz just taunts you, and then you get PB stalled to death. Like, that's my main issue with it. I don't think it's a really good Stallmon, but I don't think it's that good in this meta because anti-stall measures are on absolutely every team.
Yeah, the whole problem with Corsola is that it can't beat anti-stall.
Mm-hmm.
You guys make good points. I think at some level, you just have to accept that you lose to some things, and as a Stallmon, you are going to lose to anti-stall. Corsola G does what you want it to do if you're bringing a good stall Pokemon.
But it is good to have counterplay. Like
I don't think it's bad per se. I just don't. I think it's kind of whatever.
I think it could like be considered outclassed. Like it means a lot to something like Type Null that it beats Taunt Pokemon, like Corviknight and Mandibuzz, and
I
Actually,
also
doesn't
forgot to
beat
mention
Corviknight.
that Sylveon running fake tiers is an issue.
Yeah,
like
that's
the main
really
Pokemon
common.
set.
Yeah, they are all
Yeah.
running fake tiers right now.
Unless they're specs, in which
No,
case,
even like
obviously.
except that they're specs, but even that like Pixie Plate set with no yawn runs fake tiers.
Yeah, quick attack just runs it because it's so good.
I think it's literally 3 fairy moves and then fake.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Good old
You
Sylveon.
don't really need coverage when your Hyper Beam hits harder than Mystical Fire on super effective targets.
Yeah.
That's a good point, yeah. Alright, so
By
our
like
next,
by too much damage.
our next
Alright,
bit
never
is to talk about some lower tier Pokemon that we would want to see rise. Again,
Dude.
if we have some disagreements here, that's probably a good thing. That'll be some interesting discussion.
Durant's really good. Entrainment Durant is the wave.
Yeah,
Trust-
Durant's
you
good.
gotta trust it. I like. Usually, you would put in a Steelix or a Sock to beat Durant because, like, it's just gonna kill it, and it's not gonna be able, or Durant's not gonna be able to kill that Mon because of Sturdy. But Entrainment means you win against Sock and Steelix because Entrainment Truant essentially means you have infinite protects, which means you get to stall out 16 moves for free.
It's
Yeah.
pretty busted.
Pretty
I
nutty.
used it yesterday.
Hey,
Okay,
Zio,
yeah.
wouldn't you agree? So Valley is a pretty good Pokemon.
I feel like Silvally Poison and
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of water, but I think Poison's pretty cool because it beats,
Poison is fantastic right now.
I think that is kinda
Water's
like a
doing
placeholder.
decently.
I think there's always going to be like a better option. It's just like the Silvally viability comes from it being like somewhat of a
There's not really a good poison in SS.
That's yeah.
Yeah. that's kinda
Gengar,
true.
I don't
Toxtricity.
like
I think that's why
to some
Gengar and
extent, but,
Toxtricity do
I
well
don't
there.
like Gengar. I don't like Tox. None of those mons appeal to
But
me.
and the whole thing is that they can't really fulfill the same role as Valley. It's like a stall Pokemon that also has Swords Dance that
Also 95 speed.
also
which is
can't be
insane.
tricked, and it also is Silvally.
It has 95s across the board, which is pretty good bulk, pretty good
Yeah.
strength, pretty good speed.
Yeah, that's
And
took
the
a-
reason it's so
120 base
good.
power multi-attack is busted.
Yeah, 120.
It took a relatively
Like-
long time for Savali to evolve in the 1v1 metagame, to be honest. Like, I
Yeah,
remember
it was-
Ari was talking about it for, like, in the beginning, but then, like, it didn't catch on until, I think, PL or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because somebody brought a Silvally Poison against a
Uh-huh.
certain player in a certain Game
Sorry.
7 series.
Hey,
And
Chris.
they were not allowed.
Mm,
Oh, God,
I
that
have
was
no
so
idea
hot.
what you could be referring to, Zio.
No.
So,
Yeah,
I
I have
see
no
that-
recollection of
I see
that.
that Zio and Vici have rated it in the A ranking, whereas Waylaid and Potato Chan have it down in C+.
I don't.
I haven't updated my
Hey,
Silvally
alright.
ranking in a while.
We're gonna have some issues here.
All right,
Uh,
all right. Wayland,
Fine,
I'm driving
fine.
over to
That's
your
fine.
house right now.
Where's
And B minus.
Wait,
How's your notes?
Valley.
How's your notes? Stall is pretty good in the UFC plus.
Because like the time it was like everyone had it at C+.
No, so
Oh, inactive member of the VR
I-
club.
I
Mm.
updated my votes today, and I intentionally put it at C+. When we were going over what we deemed important in ranking, I said that the versatility came second to me because if a Pokemon just isn't like as good as another Pokemon, it doesn't matter how great it is at team preview, and I think that's like the Silvally conundrum, right?
Yeah, but the whole point is that there are some Silvallies that just straight up aren't up.
Yeah, like Silvally wins in team preview if the person doesn't know what it is, and like,
Or
but
if
they
yeah.
still have coverage for it, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't think that there's too many teams that are just gonna straight up lose to Silvally Fire because they have nothing to cover a Fire type mon. It's just they don't expect
Yeah.
Silvally Fire. So I feel like it's kind of a gimmick mon, like in a way.
I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but yeah.
I feel
mean,
like the
different
Silvally
schools
Poison.
of thought.
The reason it took so long for it to develop was specifically because it doesn't have the necessary, like, strengths you could find in other Pokemon, like, with 95
Silvally-
base stats across the board. It's kind of
Yeah,
weird.
like
People
Silvally
realize
Poison.
the multi-attack is 120 base power for some reason.
Which
Yeah,
is
it has like a lot of free. It's like this weird thing that it has a lot of freedom to run different EVs because it has such high base stats and obviously a really high base attack. But like, I feel like it ends up being mediocre. Like, I would honestly think that every single one besides Poison is bad. Like, I think Water's even bad. Like, there's other bulky waters I'd rather.
I really
yeah.
do not like water. I think Fairy.
Yeah.
I've tested Fairy. I think Fairy is solid. I've tested Steel. I really don't like Steel. I think Poison's the best by far. I think
Yeah.
Fairy is usable, but like, yeah, I don't know.
I feel like
Yeah,
in
it's
some way,
pretty
the
much-
meta around Silvally actually hurts it, in that people come to start expecting what Silvally does. So like Poison, Steel, Water, these are becoming standard. So now that they are standard, people expect them, and they lose that surprise factor, which is what makes Silvally good in the first place. And on
Yeah.
top of that, it has pretty mediocre matchups across the board.
I'm
Um,
always picking Celebi into a Silvally nowadays because Psychic's just gonna blow it up. It's always Poison.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or water.
I
But yeah.
definitely don't think that it is like
I haven't seen Water.
it is too viable. I do not think that it's.
I haven't seen Water since Jirachi got banned.
It's ever since I think post home people realized if you want a water type, Primarina is the way to go.
Yeah.
Silvally Poison, to me, it just seems like a filler Pokemon that also has like a poison move. I think that yeah, poison types are good in the meta, but I don't think like
Poison Post.
I think Silvally is just trying to fill a hole. You know, I don't think it's good of its own merit.
That's a
I
good
think
point.
the issue, Gengar, Salazzle, and Tox are all pretty good offensive mons, but they're really frail. and I don't know,
Yeah,
it
so,
would
so
not be
Valley's
good
whole
for
thing is that it fulfills like niches that none of the other like poison types can.
Yes.
You run Scarf Haxorus. And
That's because
Newcastle.
there's no other poison type.
Well, there's Gengar and there's Toxapex.
Expressity.
Toxic is decent. Yeah.
No,
Toxic is all right. Okay.
I think Dex is like definitely getting rediscovered and like has potential.
Pex.
I think Pex is like it's a water type thing to beat Primarina.
Pex is also getting better because like Yon Sylveon's becoming less common.
Mm-hmm. But the fact that it doesn't like 100% Sylveon as a poison type bothers me a lot.
Well, it like I think it 100% is non-fake tier, not Yon.
Yeah.
You need to get a look. I think double poison jab doesn't kill, but if you got a poison on either of them, you should win. Because I think it does like 48-ish.
Yeah.
So you have 2 shots to get the poison with P jab, and if you get either of them, you win.
Also, I
so.
think you
Welcome, Ursula.
survive. Yeah, the only way for them to win is like fake tiers, hyper voice.
Yeah, fake tiers into hyper voice.
Yeah.
You know what we should talk about?
Appleton, it's bad.
Mike.
What? No.
Mike.
It's just not good.
No.
I'm not convinced that it can do anything.
Mike, it's bad. It's
Mike's
a slow-
bad.
Dude, it's a Haban dragon with 30 speed.
Yeah, why not use
Like-
any other Havan dragon?
Horrible defensive typing.
Elopet, you use it because it can
Can we
lower
talk
their
about
special
how
defense,
That's
just
true.
like Gudra.
It can lower their special defense.
But
The
you know
only-
who else does
Yo,
that?
is that
Gudra.
The only useful bit I found for it is that people never expect Sucker Punch because it's like a
Yes.
apple pie. So like
Like,
they always
it's really
they always
2010.
misplay on
Rotom
that.
syndrome.
Sucker
Yeah.
Punch is actually really good for Crustle, Sock, and Dragapult, I think.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that people don't expect with Appleton is the defensive set. If they don't OHKO you, Iron Defense or Amnesia with Ripened Citrus is gonna win.
That is.
That's kind of true.
I
Yeah, I've
mean, like,
used that
there are
stat.
plenty of
It's
Pokemon
aight.
that can still beat it. Like even if they don't OHKO.
Like
there are.
in general.
The bad thing about the ripen set is that you have to give up thick fat. Which is actually good.
Thick fat is not helping anything to me.
Yeah.
It's really not that good, no.
Like
I mean,
you're still gonna
There's
die.
maybe like 2
They have a
matchups. I don't know.
singular like,
Bro,
any
I-
ice type that isn't Darmanitan Galar.
Guys, Ice Fang Dracovish is you're gonna risk losing to. Come on.
What?
I think the thing that's been receiving a lot of like every single time this mon is discussed, it's like it could be better, but we're putting in B for now, which is Aromatisse.
Yeah.
It's in
Yeah,
People-
Aromatisse is the weirdest Pokemon, which makes it incredibly difficult to rank.
I feel like the
It's so
issue
good.
is that it's a learning curve to learn how to use.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
skill
it's
level-
the only thing that actually takes skill.
Yeah,
I-
that's
Wow.
what I was
Right,
doing next
skill,
time.
it's basic counting. It's basic counting. You have to use it a few times to figure it out.
You just have to remember
You have
that
to take a
Encore.
minute and just think about it. Make sure you
Yeah.
don't mess it up.
Well, you need to also know like the time.
Thinking bad.
There's a couple.
The
of
Encore Lock
50-50
trick is really
right?
helpful with Trick Room.
Yeah,
You know
have
what-
to think out how many turns Encore's last, how many turns Disable's gonna last.
How many
Well,
turns you have left of Trick Room, how much damage they're doing with Struggle, how much you're healing with your Berry, how much you're dealing with Moonblast.
Why does
What I-
It's a lot of factors.
Because it's so goddamn-
What I was actually going to suggest discussing was the new Ninetales set that's been popping up.
Yes.
Yeah.
You mean
That is so
Popping-
good.
Okay, so at first I really liked it, but after a lot of testing on ladder, I think my issue with it is that everybody knows that set now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's
like the
That-
Drift Limb, honestly.
That's
like, it's good for
bound to
people.
happen for any
Well,
kind
it's
of
like
set.
Drifblim, but it actually beats things.
it's like its only set, and so I just see it
LA.
getting fixed a lot.
Drifblim is goated.
I definitely
that's,
think it's
that's
like
the problem.
Hmm?
Yeah, a lot of the low tier mons have that same issue where it's like someone makes this really cool set which like beats all these like things with some weird niche, but then once everyone knows it, it gets just worse and worse and worse because everyone's like, all right, I know exactly what this does at team preview. I know exactly what moves to click against it. I'm forcing you into 50-50s every turn, and then like it just slowly gets so bad that people stop.
Truly, I don't think that Ninetales relies on that surprise factor. I think it just has really solid matchups across the
I
board.
think it relies on winning too many 50-50s once your opponent knows the set.
I agree.
because
Yeah.
if they just predict the entire.
Against anything that isn't a choice attacker, it's a lot of 50-50.
I think it could.
That
be
is
a lot
true.
better.
Well, there's also choice attackers like Scarf Haxorus Where like you click Endure and then they click Poison Jab, and then you just lose.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, there's also the factor of they might not activate. Or, they might not, activate Slack.
Unnerve Haxorus. Unnerve Haxorus.
Yeah,
is so
Nerve
good.
Haxorus.
Unnerve Haxorus is actually really good because it's the only dragon that can beat Habon Dragon safely.
Besides,
Yeah, I think Unnerve Hax is amazing.
Dragon.
I was using Unnerve more than Moldbreaker before Mimikyu got banned. I think that's just a really strong ability. I don't think the Mimi ban even hurts it.
Yeah, I don't think it matters one way or the other. I
Yeah,
never
it
really
just
had
it made it
Haxorus.
so that the only viable ability on Scarf is Unnerve.
Oh, it can get some stuff with
Moldbreaker-
Moldbreaker.
No, it doesn't get.
I guess it's more of a
anything
band
except
set, yeah.
Moldbreaker. Oh wait, no,
It's more of a band.
Rotom, Heat, and
I don't use it
Togedemaru.
that- on Scarf,
Also,
I
be
will never
aware
use
with Moldbreaker.
All the socks are EVing to live a outrage from Scarfed. And if
Yeah,
I
that's true.
really want to beat Sock on band, then I'll run Moldbreaker. But most of the time, Unnerve is the better option.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Unless you need to beat Rotom or Sock with band.
Togedemaru.
Scarf will not kill. Yeah, Toge is a evil menace to society.
Where's Togedemaru
Toge
ranked
is-
right now?
Band actually does enough
It's
to
awful
Rotom
to face,
out,
but even worse to
like,
use.
Can we
Toge-
go from C to band on the spot right now?
Uncompetitive Pokemon.
Togedemaru right now is a C+ mon.
Yeah.
I don't
Or
know.
like in before band.
Okay,
That
I
sounds
think the
about right
issue-
for Hacks Reliable.
The issue with Togedemaru is if you're unlucky, it's really bad.
The issue with Togedemaru is that part of the reason to use it, which was Jirachi and Mimikyu, no longer exist. So
The issue
Yeah,
with
same thing as
Togedemaru is
Cloyster, just
bad.
dropped immediately,
Also-
and Excadrill just plummeted.
Yeah, bro. There's
Yeah.
no reason. I would say that Excadrill is pointless. With no
Yeah,
Not
Drone's really
Chopal
bad,
Excadrill is its only viable.
Okay,
No.
Like, just
all
use
the agents,
Steelix.
all the agents run Life Orb Steel Beam to beat Avalugg.
I
Bruh.
run Chopal
And then
Steel
get
Beam to
flamed
beat
by
Avalugg.
And Crustle.
It's really bad.
Yeah,
Alright, are there any other?
I don't think that
lower
Life Orb
tiers?
set's that bad.
Any other lower
Lower
tiers that we think should rise, or that we heavily disagree on?
Potato Chan, do you want
Malamar, my boy Malamar is better than just C. C's Malamar's epic. It beats all the stall. It's like one of the anti-stall things that beats Corviknight.
I mean, it's one rank away from C+. Super the close.
Does anyone know what Charizard does?
No, it doesn't.
I feel like it's a
I
bad
have
blend of Cinderace.
Charizard runs Will-O-Wisp. It runs
It's
Mystical
bad
Fire. It
Cinderace.
runs Roost, and it runs like Breaking Swipe.
Yeah, breaking.
See, that sounds like
And
band of
weird.
bad
Mimikyu,
Arcanine.
But now Mimikyu doesn't exist.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
bad Cinderace, which is bad Arcanine, which is bad Centiskorch.
It's kind of just bad Arcanine now.
Oh, what a hot take.
Which is bad in Incineroar, so yeah.
What?
Incineroar
Hey,
is bad.
Arcanine is just bad Centiskorch. A Zeo Trip 2012.
Centiskorch is better than Incineroar.
Beautiful.
I agree, it is.
No,
But-
Centiskorch is
Actually-
absolutely better than Incineroar.
Imagine.
Yeah,
that
probably.
But you
I
did-
really do not like Cinderace at all.
Cinderace is
post-Mimikyu.
horrible.
Cinderace
Also,
is
yeah.
It's
Band
one
is
niche.
alright.
I think it's one niche as a fire type was beating Mimikyu, and now that Mimikyu is gone, I.
Okay, why do I still have this mon at B+? I'm down to B.
Wait.
At a B-.
Cinderace will be decent once it gets Libero.
So, wait, were you saying that
Oh, yeah.
Cinderace is worse than Centiskorch? Okay.
Yes.
I was about to say, because you had like B+ for it and B for Centiskorch, and I was like, yo, what?
The council member forgot to update his vote.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Inactive council, inactive council.
Hey, the
I
vote
have
changed.
a random.
I
have a random
updated this
thing.
morning, so
The race is now B.
Scroll
Cinderace
down.
just dropped to B. Okay.
Cinderace just dropped a rate.
If you
Guess
scroll
somebody should
all the way to
update
the
that.
bottom,
This is live voting right now.
Oh, what do you guys think of Como? I think Como's really good.
I agree.
think
Wait,
it's
yeah, I need. I have Como at A- good.
fairy
Until
spam.
recent.
All right, fairy spam.
Como is great except for the fact that it the Darmanitan Sylveon Permino.
Bro, I got yuck.
Actually beats Scarf
Yeah,
German.
you can run Yak to reliably beat Darm. Well,
Well,
reliably
yes.
flinch.
Do not- okay,
Yeah.
you beat. Okay, you 50-50 quick attack Sylveon, and you beat every other variant because
Unless
of
it's
soundproof.
Specs.
Profound.
Back side shock.
No. You click substitute on Hyper Beam. If they click Hyper Voice, they just instantly lose.
Or they
And
just
then
run
you
Moonblast because they're choice
3,
specs.
4 hits, and they.
Or they
die.
click side shock and win.
Guys, can we
No,
talk
they
about
don't
Age of
click
Flash?
Side
Is
Shock
like-
and win.
Side Shock, they should be removed from the ladder.
They should just run Moonblast.
Guys,
That
can we
works
talk
too,
about
but I think
Age
like
of Flash?
side shock
Yeah,
hits
let's talk about
like
Aegis Slash
something.
real quick.
Age of Slash is not good anymore.
Aegis Slash is bad.
Aegis Slash is bad.
I think people were holding on to the fact like it was really good and it was decent in 7 and 6, but it lost 20 in each defensive stat and each attacking stat, which is pretty huge.
Then why do you have it
10.
at B plus?
So King Shield
point.
is
Also, King Shield got nerfed into the ground.
Say
Yeah.
minus
only
20 stat
minus
nerf.
1, which is not
Yes.
helpful
Shield
enough.
is bad now.
It has a
I think-
decent.
I think Airborne would have been fine for beating Darm because then you could have gotten -2 on Flare Blitz, but now you just die. Like -1's not enough.
Yeah.
I would say it has a decent matchup against Sylveon, but I think Specs Mystical Fire can win.
Yeah.
Actually, all
No,
Sylveon
I
sets
really
50-50.
doubt I really doubt it.
Maybe.
I mean,
Like the
if he doesn't
standard
kill
Sylveon
you,
set
Besides that
50-50
Age Slash can
between
reliably
shield
beat
or
Phil, but
attack.
standard
I
doesn't.
I think Bloon is really good for beating on the sturdy mons, but like beating the sturdy mons is not really that impressive, and it doesn't.
Yeah, it's like
beat
how many are there? What,
Mystical
like 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like it's an extra drill case where it only beats a very small pool. Like it's very good at beating a small pool of things, but that small pool of things is not that useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, it should definitely be B instead of B plus. But
I also think that weakness policy kind of holds it back because that's like 90% of the sets, and once everyone knows your weakness policy worse. Automatically.
I don't bother with weakness policy anymore.
Rising
I think there's much better items,
Like Air Balloon.
like Air Balloon or
Balloon's
Shuka
nice.
or Spell
Shuka,
Tape.
Shuka is the real.
Dude, I was running Lagging Tail to beat Trick Jirachi, and it was absolute.
nice.
All right,
But
so
now
our last
Jirachi's
topic
gone,
for
so-
today is, if I could just cut over you real quickly, is going to be some DLC speculation. We're going to talk about the new Pokemon that are coming back and how they're going to
Cresselia,
influence the VR.
Garchomp, Heatran is gonna be like the best
Regisurf
Pokemon.
is in this tier, bro. This tier is not ready for Regisurf. Our best player type is Arcanine.
Hey guys, let's remember that the legendaries are coming in DLC 2, not DLC 1.
Oh, okay.
No, I have to wait months for Regisurf. This is so sad.
Yeah,
Wow,
so we might get the
Oh,
some
Zone.
starters.
Oh, wait. Zone's gonna like destroy the entire.
Yes, Magneton and Magnezone both are going to have.
It's gonna miss not having hidden power though, because it only has Thunderbolt and Flash Cannon now.
Meta. Yeah, but
Mag-
still, it's like
I can't run his
okay,
V
I
move,
have
so it's
Flash-
kind of weak.
No, it's like I have Flash Cannon, so I beat both Sylveon and Darmanitan, and I have Thunderbolt, so I just
Bro,
beat
it literally-
Primarina.
But then you've got like Metal Sound, Electro Web. That's a fine set.
Yeah.
I think no Z moves and no hidden power is kind of really like that's a huge hit. But I
Yeah,
think
but it's
it'll
like you
still be
just
fun.
take a look at what's used, and then it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
It
Like-
makes
Electric
the top
Steel?
3 easy, but then it has a hard time with everything else.
it beats. Oh, also Porygon is coming back apparently.
Oh,
Uh,
oh,
yeah.
also Chansey, and it
Chansey
gets
and
No,
Charm
it's not.
Seismic Toss. Charm
Chansey-
Seismic Toss
Chansey
is now
getting
illegal.
S-Toss and Charm.
Yeah,
Okay.
Zoomerl
What?
is getting like Charm plus Sap Sipper plus Amnesia being legal now.
Yep, it's gonna be back.
Madness.
With like
Love
power
that.
decrease
Love that
power
set.
that's gonna be.
Mm-hmm. Can we also talk about the legendaries in DLC 1 and potentially new Alolan forms?
I think the
Oh,
Yeah,
Alolan
like
forms?
Dedenne.
Oh, Alolan.
the three birds, the 3 legendary birds, and the Reggie.
Zapdos is probably gonna be broken.
Reggie Dragon, Reggie Electric, and 3.
I can't wait for Reggie Electric. That's going to be so cool.
Yeah. I'm more so talking about that potential, like, fuck it, whatever. The Galarian Slowbro and potentially Galarian Slowking.
I don't think that'll be good.
Hopefully they re-release normal Slowbro.
Yeah.
This would be super nice right now.
Oh
Because
yeah,
most people,
100%.
Most people's spell checks are Mandibuzz or Corviknight, which both hard lose.
Yeah, you
So-
just get calm minded on, and then it's GG.
Yeah.
Volcarona
I
is going
kinda
to be
wanna
nice
see
to
what
have
that-
back.
Volcarona,
Yeah,
will
Volcarona
be
is
pretty
going to be
nice.
destructive.
Volcarona is the extra drill of DLC. It beats really good mons, but like I can't see it doing much else outside.
I wonder if
think
you
that's
can
making
use
sense.
Volcarona to tank a Choice Scarf, Giga Impact, or whatever. Or
Oh,
Flare
It
yeah.
could just start running Stone Edge though.
Yeah.
I think QB should be freed.
I don't.
That's a
Yeah, all
I'm
right.
actually
This is
not
not
sure.
all right, end the
Free
video.
like QB.
I know.
think
I want to
that
know.
Suspect would be
If not QB, definitely Marshadow. I think Marshadow.
yeah.
Oh,
I see Marshadow being
End the
manageable without Z moves,
video.
honestly.
Okay.
125 attack, dude. 125 attack is not that good.
Yeah, it is.
I just want to say, what do you guys?
That's the best offensive typing in the game.
Can actually just run Roselli and like 2-hit KO the fairies with poison jabs, so
Yeah.
I mean, you'll be
Do
outgoing
you
them back.
guys have any expectations for like the brand new legendaries, the like fighting one and the grass monkey?
I feel like the water fighting one is not going to get water stab.
The phone is gonna be really bad. I feel like the Keldeo one's gonna be all right.
It's gonna be pre-marina food is the right answer.
They're
And the other one
everything
the
is
other one
is
is
weak.
Pangoro typing, and then the other one's fighting grass.
Oh
And-
lord.
It's fighting water. It's fighting water.
And actually,
Fighting water,
Yeah,
fighting
Kel
dark,
type.
and then grass psychic.
And I'm calling him right now. The fighting
Garbage
water one is not
self-game.
going to get water stab.
I really don't like Keldeo. I don't think stronger Keldeo is gonna fix the issue.
also Azumarill is coming back in DLC 1.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
It's getting all the stall stuff in one set. It's legal now.
Yep.
Zack.Berlin, Amnesia, Charm.
But like, is SeaSilver even that good anymore? Because like,
Kind of.
there's no
Probably.
Zardwai.
Well, I mean, there's a ton of grass
Rillaboom?
types,
We
so
got
like.
that boy Rillaboom.
Well, I mean,
Oh yeah, and Surge Rillaboom is going to be absolutely
Oh.
insane.
Oh wait,
I expect that to be A+.
Libero-
It's inferior. I feel like Band actually appreciates grass users, but I think it's inferior for the leech seed set because you're giving your opponent health, which is
Yeah, but you're
bad.
healing more,
And
and it's also for only 5 days. Also,
In the long run,
Libero
that's not gonna matter.
Cinderace.
You don't need to heal more.
wait, I don't think the hidden ability.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
Libero,
appreciate
Cinderace,
skill.
Absolutely.
Are we getting all hidden
That high
abilities
jump
back?
kick, that gunk shot, absolutely.
Back, but
That's going to be really good. Yeah.
High jump kick,
What
Giga.
does Inteleon get? Doesn't Inteleon get
Flare
Sniper,
Blitz.
which is absolutely worthless?
Yes.
It gets no
Flip
because it has
Inteleon, bro.
snipe shot.
Inteleon was good never and will remain to be bad forever.
we'll break
No,
your
just
Inteleon,
run-
guys.
Sounds
Just
good.
run the-
Inteleon, more like Primarina.
Just run the critical hit berry with sub torrent. Easy.
Sat, snipe shot.
Yeah.
Send to Primarina and then die to Aqua Jet.
Does that not get focus energy? Or laser focus? Is that the one?
It's gonna be
I'm
bad.
not thinking of laser focus.
I could never see Inteleon being a good mon. I think
It
Libero
just can't.
Cinderace is cool because
Yeah.
it gets stab, gunk shot, stab.
It's
high
physical.
jump.
It's physical Greninja.
You can run Scarf and still one hit kill Primarina. Like, that
Okay,
seems really good.
Two big things as compared to Greninja. It is not as fast. There is no hidden power. Its move pool is worse.
But
Yes.
it has a higher attack stat and higher base power moves.
Yeah, but like worse move pool, no hidden power. It's not going to be the beast that Greninja was.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
definitely going to be good, but it's
There's no variability.
No, I
it's much
think,
easier to
I think
predict.
it's gonna be
it's gunk shot, high jump
Because-
kick, and fire stab.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Greninja and
think of all
Gen
the
7
stuff that-
literally like could not be. You could build a Greninja to beat literally any team you want to.
In Gen 7, you could run hidden power steel Greninja to beat Gardevoir. That's just not.
You could also run
winning.
Gunk Shot to beat Gardevoir.
That's
Well,
true.
it was just an example of being able to run whatever hidden power you want to beat.
You could run Choice Scarf, Hidden Power, Ground to beat Zero Aura.
Could also run Choice Scarf Dig.
Okay. That's quite enough of that. So, I'm gonna try and wrap this up. Does anybody have any closing thoughts that they want to share before this video ends?
Subscribe to I'm Actually Cash.
Do it.
Damn.
And Choice Scarf.
I'm deleting the VR thread.
We should free Dynamax even though it's really broken.
All right. So that's probably gonna do it. Thank you so much to everybody on the VR Council that was able to join
Happy
me today.
birthday.
Happy birthday to Potato Chan.
special shout out.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Happy
Elo
half
for
birthday to
hosting this.
Waylade.
Shout out to the
And I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. I will see you all again next time.